What is going on, Bears fans? Even Kevin O'Connell of the Minnesota Vikings knows that Matt Eberflus is on his way out. He's giving kudos to Caleb Williams openly. Caleb Williams sharing the information that he got from Kevin O'Connell. And look, Caleb Williams had moments where he looked like Superman on Sunday. And look, if you go to my comment section, you will see a bunch of crybabies who are like, man, I just wish I could smell Justin Fields' socks, or whatever stupid shit they say in their brain. I have no idea how it's breaking down. It's not your quarterback anymore. If you're that into Justin Fields, why don't you marry him, bro? Anyway, it's just crazy kind of stupid stuff that you get. And by the way, if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. If you like me telling you how it really is, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're a Justin Fields maxi and all you can think of is, I just wish it was Justin Fields, I just wish it was Justin Fields, that's the way you sound in my brain, okay? Make sure you hit the subscribe button too so you can talk mad shit about me in the comment section, but use your little girl voice because that's what you must be if you're still saying, hey, you know that benched guy in Pittsburgh? Yeah, we should be starting him. Woo, baby. All right, guys, let's talk about what's really going on over here and not that crazy, stupid stuff. All right, so after the game yesterday, the Bears fall 30-27 to the Minnesota Vikings in a game that, had we just kicked an extra point, when we got a touchdown with about 8 minutes left in the game, then we would have actually won 27-28. And it wouldn't be a competition. But also, we went for 2 in the second touchdown as well because we were trying to catch up. So, it might have balanced itself out, but we left a point on the table, and that point ended up being the difference in either winning the game or going to overtime, where we went 3 plays and out. Caleb Williams took a monster sack. And look, sometimes you just got to try to make something happen. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask on the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim or Jim or whoever that guy is from that old song. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Caleb Williams shares classy message from Kevin O'Connell, and what he said was, his message was just to keep going. Hell of a player, keep going, way to fight. He said it sucks he has to go against me for a while, but hell of a player, excited to see me out there fighting and leading these guys. And listen, this is a testament right here to, this is a guy right now who's telling the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, hey man, keep your head up because you're going to get a coach pretty soon who won't suck. I mean, that's really what it breaks down to. And if you're not seeing that, you're not listening to the signs. Everybody knows that Matt Eberflus cannot do this job. He can't do it at a high level. It's embarrassing. Caleb Williams is coming out here, and again, playing like a Superman sometimes, having great plays. 32 of 47, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, again, no turnovers. Caleb Williams not turning the ball over. When you go look at what some of these rookies are doing, you notice that Caleb is a little bit behind. Not overall, overall, it's fairly close. It's 2,300 yards passing for Jaden Daniels, 2,066 yards for Caleb. I mean, everybody's kind of in that range. Bo Nix having a nice little run as well, but Caleb's not turning the ball over at all. And look, you can only run what your offensive coordinator allows you to. Shane Waldron just didn't get it, screwed everything up for Caleb early on. They brought in Thomas Brown to kind of try to fix it a little bit, and it seems like we've done a good job so far. So Caleb Williams looking great. And guess what? Matt Eberflus just finds new ways to suck the oxygen and just to find defeat in the hands of victory. Like you're sitting here and we got into this game and I thought, the Chicago Bears are just not playing great ball. They scored a touchdown in the first quarter, which, they've not scored, they've started very, very slow. It's become a trend and a tendency, but they broke that. Now, I would have liked to have seen 2 scores, something like that. That would have kind of, quote unquote, broken the curse, but we didn't get there. We got 1 touchdown and we got a field goal, but we weren't stopping the team. The defense, which, by the way, is the play calls. The play calls are done by Matt Eberflus. So if you're wondering why the defense is not doing its job, it's because Matt Eberflus calls that shit. He's the one that screws it all up. Like, unbelievable, right? You can't even make up the ways that Matt Eberflus is failing this team. Right? You can't, he's like on Arrow's list, if you know what I'm talking about. It's just crazy, right? It's crazy. And the fact that we're still here talking about Matt Eberflus and we're not looking at, hey, look, we got 6 games left to go. Get him the fuck out. Get him out of here. Move on. It is time to go. And look, if Thomas Brown takes over as the interim head coach. Fine. If Washington takes over instead of Thomas Brown, so Thomas Brown can focus on the offense. Fine, guys. Put a Band-Aid on it. You're not getting better or worse by removing the cancer that is costing you victories. Now, at best, maybe you could say this. Maybe Kevin Warren, maybe Ryan Poles, they don't want to mess with a new coach. They don't want to go through any kind of process right now because, hey, if Matt Eberflus is continuing to be the loser that Matt Eberflus is, and we just lose out and we end up going 4-13, look, I don't like that, but guess what? That's another number 1 draft pick or number 2 or number 3 draft pick. So, maybe you can stock up on a draft pick and do it one more time. Maybe Kevin Warren, maybe Ryan Poles have already had that meeting and said, you know what? Let him ride it out because, at the end of the day, Caleb knows, DJ knows, they're locked in for a long period of time. Keenan Allen probably gone, but these guys know they're frustrated, but they also understand that they've got a head coach who can't coach. They know they're not being held accountable. There's problems, and I think that what we will see is that they're just going to let it ride. They've probably had that conversation, and they'll, let's get a high draft pick. Let's just max out on this draft pick one more time. It's not optimal. It's not the way that we wanted it. This is not what we intended when this season started. When we started this season, we intended to be a competitor, and we really thought that Matt Eberflus at some point would just be able to do something, and he's a failure, right? So, they'll have to move on, and they will, but, they'll make the move at the end of the year, and then by attrition, we'll become a better team, and maybe we'll go out there and get the right guy for the role. Now, let's talk a little bit more because not only did we have that, but we have Caleb Williams drop a not-so-subtle hint to Bears with Thomas Brown quote. And what he said, to basically summarize, is that he thinks that Thomas Brown is head coach material. And what he says is he also seems to suggest that his comments after the game that they have something special in Brown, his influence on the offense has been nothing short of stellar. It wasn't hard to read between the lines. Look, Thomas Brown has done a very good job of affecting massive change in the offense that was underperforming. Now, look, we have to look at those 3 games after the break, and we have to look at it in an indictment of Shane Waldron not understanding what it is that he had. But we also have to understand that this was the same group of people that were 4-2 at the beginning of the season. So it wasn't horrible. There were a couple of games there where Caleb was really getting into it, and I don't know if it was the pettiness of Shane Waldron or what it is, but it just did not work out. So that brings us to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown seems to understand the fundamentals. And let me also point out, and I want to say this without showing the videos because the NFL, they do their thing here. And they start to fight you over monetization, stuff like that. By the way, hit the like button on your way in. Helps push me up, and it's tremendous. But what ended up happening here is that Thomas Brown got DJ Moore playing like a man possessed. He got Keenan Allen playing like a man possessed. And look, these are not guys that give up on a team, but these are guys that need to be fed the ball. So what happened? Keenan got fed. DJ got fed. Roma Dunze got fed. Cole Kmet did not necessarily get fed. His time will come. I think we move on from Keenan at the end of this season. But, by the way, the yards leader for the team, Roma Dunze. Just wanted to put that out there. So, these guys are getting finally fed just a little bit. And I think that Thursday we're going to have a really good game against Detroit. Do we win? It's Matt Eberflus coaching, so probably not. And Detroit, can we beat Detroit? We are a better team on paper, in my opinion, than Detroit. You can see it from last season. Other than some Matt Eberflusing to screw up a game, we had Detroit beat. We had them beat badly both games last season. Now, is this the same team? No. Are they the same team? Not really. There's a little bit of a difference here and there. But most importantly, Matt Eberflus is finding new ways to lose. And just in unbelievable fashion, right? Conservative play calling in an offensive league is just stupid. But there we are with Matt Eberflus. So we're probably going to see another loss. Like, we're not going to see the win that we want to see, the Thanksgiving hero kind of thing. But you know what? Here's the thing. At the end of this, what we want massive improvement from Caleb Williams. Now, the problem, there is a problem here. The problem is, what if Thomas Brown does this? What if Thomas Brown really leads this team, and then he's gone next season, because the new coach doesn't want him? Or what if we bring in a coach who just, like there's a lot of variables here. And then also the last variable here is if Thomas Brown is the head coach, if they promote from within and we go with Thomas Brown, who coaches the offense? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is a complicated moment for the Chicago Bears. You found something that appears to work a little bit, right? And maybe Thomas Brown and Cliff Kingsbury, but I don't know how that plays out and how you get him away from the Washington Commanders. But look, if it's Caleb, that's his guy, then it should stand to reason that he would want to be the offensive coordinator for it, and just didn't want to do it. We know now Cliff Kingsbury didn't want to be the coach with Matt Eberflus. So let's see what happens here. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bears, look, Thursday, it's going to be an interesting game. I do think that we will find a way to lose it. I think we'll find a way to be competitive through the whole game. And then I think that Matt Eberflus is going to Matt Eberflus his way into a loss in what we're going to look back and we're going to be like, Jesus Christ, how did we not win that game? Like, this is what are we just like, gee, dumb is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be having those conversations in our brain over the next little while. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bear down, and we'll see you again tomorrow.